fucking morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another version of your version
Audio started coming out of my phone instead of my AirPods.
From your
Can
brain.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right, all good. Dude, shit started playing off on my speaker, but that's all good.
Yeah, I could hear the echo. It was kind of weird. I didn't know if it was
Oh
from...
no, echo! Hold on. Let me fix this. Dude,
No. It's fixed now.
full of tech issues.
I should
Not
have
going great.
I should have teased you on the intro before that. That's my bad.
Hold on.
Wait, you could hear me properly before that, so I thought it was gonna be fine.
Hold on. Let's work now.
Just gonna check if we're live on everywhere else. YouTube, Key, Twitch. It's the second time streaming everywhere, so still kind of weird, but exciting. Yeah, fuck, we're good. Okay, can you hear me properly now, Moni?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome,
But
man. No more echo.
my audio is coming out of my speaker, so if it echoes, just let me know.
No. It was at the beginning, but like just for a few seconds, and then your brain exploded,
dude,
and then we were properly live.
off to a terrible start already. But
no, it's part of the show, man. Welcome. Episode 19 today, Moni. Thank you for taking the time. Honored to have you here in the show. How are you doing? How's everything?
I am doing great. It is currently midnight here on a very rainy day. Doxing myself here. Got my cat sitting on my computer.
Wait. Oh yeah, because it's still winter in Australia, sort of ish. So
yeah,
like it's getting heated up, bro, in a way.
Yeah, it's just becoming spring. And my lights, I have like an automatic like light thing, and it keeps constantly dimming by itself.
Oh god.
Yeah, so I'm trying to.
Wait, so you need to be like waving or like clapping every now and then and shit?
No, I just turn it back up, but it gradually goes down. But hopefully we're fine now.
I didn't know. I don't think anyone knew how you're set up until like how do you stay awake until 7 a.m. Like this is the first glance to the Mooney studio that we get ever.
Dude,
so
this is degen, bro. I gotta. Oh, I don't want to share too much of my degeneracy, but
it's okay. You definitely should.
I got the triple monitor set up.
Fuck.
Some automatic lights and the cat. Always.
The cat is the
cat.
Yeah, you need
always.
That. You need a cat to become a billionaire. That's what I heard. That's the alpha. But yeah, you're on your phone. Like, what's it all this massive setup for if it's not even working?
Dude, it doesn't work. It does. It's constantly just bricking itself, and my like mic and camera never work on, like online stuff. I mean, like I had a call with Yeah, there's been so many calls where like, I mean, at first, I think everyone's a bit shy and not wanting to, dox and whatnot. I've been sort of like semi-doxed over the past few years, but, over like calls, I'm, been pretty shy. And then I want to turn my camera on and it's just not working. Like I want to get it to work. So if you hear my clicking and my clacking, that is still me trying to get it to work, but yeah, hopefully it's fine. Hopefully my mic and echo is not too bad and whatnot. Oh my god! Hold on.
We're rich. Oh,
hold on. Wait, I think I can join on my computer. Will it stuff anything?
Are you gonna do it? Yeah, try. Give it a go.
All right, hold on. Let me try.
I mean, try to do both at the same time so we don't lose. Never mind. Oh shit, that was fast. Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Because I cannot hear a single thing.
Fuck. We're so close to success right there.
This.
I can see you and hear you. So.
Oh my god! Why are you silent now?
Damn it. Maybe if I'm talking.
Dude, I finally get my computer to work, and now I can't hear anything. Hold on.
You can try to do.
There we go. We are so back. Oh, got the server after 20 minutes of troubleshooting. We are so back. Okay. Apologies, everyone, for my technical mishaps, but we are good now.
This is a usual thing for Mooney. So like for anyone just tuning in for these kind of things, it's normal. But like it got resolved. So that's the main thing.
There we go.
Oh,
There's my lights turned off automatically.
no, dude, you need to fix that. We cannot go be on and off through the whole show here.
Hopefully it works now.
Tell the cat not to click on the thing on the fucking.
You know, I had to buy. I bought a plastic cover over my power button because my cat would jump on my computer and turn everything off. So I had to buy a cover to stop it.
I don't know how you live there. I will just leave him outside my room. I had a cat once, and it's next level chaotic. Like he cannot get anything done, let alone sleep at night. But always fun.
Yeah, she sleeps with me every night, so
nice.
It's fun.
Yeah, Moni. I mean, I think everyone knows you proper the definition of OG, but for anyone that doesn't yet, do you want to do a quick TLDR on?
Sure. My name's Mooney. It's my last name. Founder of ITK Digital. I am also a founding member of Pixel Labs, the parent entity of Sappy Seals and Explore Omnia. I helped a lot with the early days of community building and, you know, their selling out of pixel pets and so on. I'm a degenerate living in Australia, 25 years old, feeling like I'm 55. Been full-time Web3 for 3-4 years now. Yeah, loving it. No regrets. I guess that's the essence of myself.
The 55-year-old part is my favorite and so fucking accurate as well.
Physically and mentally. That's where I'm at.
Dude. So like for everyone just tuning in or like not knowing this relationship, like I know Mooney since we were kids almost, like it feels like 50 years. But like I'm gonna pretend I don't know anything about you and like we just met today and like to like really explore and go deep on the lore, even though I'll connect a few dots for the sake of the story. But yeah, Pixel Pets founding farmer, Pixel Labs founding member, Pixel Squishyverse founder, ITK founder and CEO, and helped with so many other projects as well in the process, which we'll get a little bit of insights through the process. I just want to go real quick on the Pixel Pets whitelist giveaway that you were doing, tagging Gary Vee for 20 days. I saw this. This is from January 2022, man.
You dug deep, bro.
Yeah, man. I do a bit of research prior to the show. It's always so fun, and it gets me so nostalgic as well, going down memory lane. It's a really fun process as well. And I mean, especially if you were there living it, like in this case with you, like fucking chills.
It's weird, man. It feels so long ago.
Yeah, but like how things have changed from back then. I mean, from tagging Gary Vee. Well, we can go back real quick a little bit more. This part of the lore, I might not even know. Like, how and when did you actually join Web3 and NFTs? I don't think I know that part anymore.
Yeah. I guess I can, get into it. I mean, I think I joined NFTs like a lot of other people, wanting to make a quick buck. And I joined late 2021. I was a broke uni student working at Woolworths, which is like the equivalent of like Walmart in America. And I remember I first started looking into like crypto Twitter. I started following all the big accounts, and I noticed that these big accounts like Crypto God John that were following Sappy Seals, who were minting within like a week. And I was like, okay, all these big guys are following, this project. I got to try get into it. And so, I had only used Discord for, like being with like gaming with my friends and whatnot. So I joined the Seals Discord, and I sort of was just like, noticed all the chatter and whatnot. And I did like, a lot of people would have joined it to be like a whitelist grinder, but I was there like learning about Web3. And then I got the OG Seal role, which gave me, like guaranteed earlier whitelist. And I remember pulling in my funds. I also roped in Cheeky, my friend. Throwback before I gained weight, bro. I roped in Cheeky, minted one for him, and yeah.
This Cheeky guy that suddenly disappeared out of nowhere. I think he left like a year or two ago.
Yeah, he's full-time Web2 now. Full-time Web2.
I still talk to him up every now and then and try to lure him back in, but he's like, no, man. I'm very busy with this stuff. And if I jump into Web3, like I cannot do half, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, he's full dedicated to the Web2 grind. So I do respect him for it, but dude, I'm looking at this picture, man. I was like,
yes,
wow.
Sappy Seals, Natty Seal, and you have the actual resemblance in Web 2 IRL. So like, did you? I can't remember if you minted this and revealed, or you saw it and sniped it. Like, what was the lore?
What I did was, so I minted 3, and I really wanted this seal, and I had begged Wab for ages. Dude, it's on floor. Can you buy it for me? Actually, no, I think it was above floor because it's like natty and it was super clean. I was like, I can't remember what the prices were back then. I think it might have been listed at like 0.3 and 4 was like 0.15. And I was like, wow, if you buy this for me, I'll give you 2 of my seals. Please,
I'll give you
just do it.
I don't care.
And he bought it, gave it to me, and we did the trade. And I was like, thank God, dude. I was like begging him because I didn't want to sell my seals. I didn't want to sell them, but I wanted this one so bad. And I was like, please. And yeah, he helped the brother out.
Man, and that was your PFP for a while as well, and then you joined the SEALs team and everything else, right? Like that was the beginning of how it is today. And then also I wanted to highlight it as well because it's one of the best tattoos I've ever seen. Do you still have it? Like, are you?
Yeah, of course.
Was it in your arm or your leg? I can't remember.
No, it's on my leg, so I don't think.
Do it.
Dude, it's on my upper thigh, bro. I'm like big showing a bit too much skin.
Fuck, put a GoPro on the cat
but I'm thinking of the logistics.
No. Better not.
You'll see half my ass, dude. So but it is very much still there, still very much something that I will never regret. And they're my prized possessions. So Sappy Seal, I didn't remember that Sappy Seal was your first NFT, and then so many others that you round trip to 0, especially the anime ones. But yeah, one that you didn't round trip and that you took, you sold everything and to get with your per PFP. Do you want to share more on the feeling and like what was your thought process into like I want to go all in on this IP and this project and this team, and this is also 2022, like February. So yeah, I think Azuki is still my biggest NFT purchase today. It's also my biggest round trip. But I mean, I wouldn't have sold. I love the NFT. I think I am a massive weeb before entering Web3 as a massive weeb, and I have a tattoo of Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop, who these traits, especially the fluffy hair, is inspired by him. And I saw this like super clean one. I was looking for one with a cigarette because then that would really be Spike vibes, but I couldn't find one I could get. But I saw this one super clean and I bought it. I was like, oh, I have to have this. And I think, it's all subjective for everyone, but I still think it's, the best art in the space. So I did round trip. I do remember it was valued at like 100K plus and I never sold. And then,
and then in ETH, like what was like 8, and then he went to 30 or something.
It was like 30. And then we got the Beans airdrop, which was 7 ETH each.
Oh god!
Every Zuki got 2. And at the time, I was like, dude, they're gonna do some Bake stuff. They're gonna Ponzi it because at the time, Bake had, Bored Apes, then Mutants, and then the kennels. I was like, dude, they're gonna do some Ponzi stuff. I'm gonna hold it all. That it went to. I was up like 3x on Azuki. I got a 14 ETH airdrop. Didn't sell any of it. No regrets. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I think that's all part of the Web3 journey. If you don't round trip, you haven't lived in Web3. Yeah.
Shit, jinx. I was looking for a Spike Spiegel JPEG, PNG, but I can't upload it here. I don't know why. But I think everyone knows what the character is.
Yeah, looks very similar.
It's almost the same. Man, I need to get it. Like, what the fuck is? No,
I do have it tattooed, but it's also on my thigh, so I don't think.
God damn it, man! What is it with like legs and tattoos with you? Do you have any in the arm though, like, or not at all?
Yeah, I mean, I got a sleeve here.
Oh yeah, that one, sure.
Yeah, I got this done over like a year. But the NFT tattoos were amongst my first few bunch of tattoos, and I have zero regrets.
But yeah, no, way less regrets as well from the round tripping, and we've done so many as well. Where's this love from anime coming from, or almost like borderline obsession with Spice Eagle, and like, I mean, you have a few, but that's one of the main ones.
Yeah.
Like even prior to Web3, obviously. So
Yeah. No, honestly, like growing up as a kid, there's a lot like other people where there's like sort of a stigma against anime, and I'm like, you fucking nerds. And I was like, my friends at school who watch anime, I'm like, anime watchers. And then I started watching it, and I was like, this is fucking sick. And ever since then, just my love for anime has grown ever since. I think it also stems from, my sort of love or support towards artists. I think it's like such a tough and hard industry. So I think like, it's sort of like when I'm watching anime, it's like every single frame is drawn one by one. It's like you're watching this like insane sequence and you're like, somebody sat here for hours just slaving away. I was like, dude, it's like, I don't want to take it for granted, but yeah, it's just as the years go by, as I watch more and more anime, I'm like, dude, I love it.
Yeah, no, and we'll touch as well on that love support for artists as well that we've seen very closely. Real quick on the Spice Eagle. It's pretty much the Yurasuki PFP, some kind of it's insane. But yeah, I think you felt like that's you, that's your identity, personal brand, and that's also why it's almost impossible to let it go. It's like selling yourself, and and the main reason for round tripping, which fucking sucks. I had something similar with
sorry to cut you off, but it's like the number one advice in NFTs: don't get attached to your JPEGs because when you do, you round trip.
We've all learned that the hard way. Like we say it after we fucked up. Like I haven't heard anyone say it like I took profits at the top or like actual from being smart. No, it's always after you. This is like fuck it up. I had something very similar with my mutant, and then it was fucking horrible. But I'm happy with my time now. But yeah, on the supporting side and the love for the artist, I completely agree. And you've always been like that. I don't know if also previous to Web3, but there's this one activation that you did directly with Lizzie Bennett with that was in Ukraine. She was an artist in Ukraine and had a small collection that then exploded after you bought a few, right? You want to share a little bit more on that feeling and that process? I mean, I remember it because I was there, but like for anyone that wasn't or that doesn't remember it as well, you share more about that.
Yeah, sure. So I guess, like I love artists and always wanted to support smaller artists. And it was one of the main reasons behind, creating Squishyverse was at first it was, the priority was to support artists. And then, we identified early, like, there's a lot more potential for the IP and so on. And that's when we went into tech, games and so on. But in terms of the artist support side, one of the things that we continuously did was support smaller artists and then raffle off the pieces of artwork to our holders. And, I'd either go on, something like Foundation Art. I'd be scrolling through it, looking at artists who hadn't received any bids on artwork, but were super, super talented. And I'd go for those type of people. I don't really know how I stumbled across the Lizzie Bennett collection. I think a lot of it, like the artwork was listed directly from the artist. It wasn't like secondary purchases, as she was using OpenSea to sell the art. And I was like, let's just buy a bunch and, we'll give it to people. And then I don't know how, but some sort of trickle effect fucking mooned. She got a bunch off of trading fees and whatnot. Like small wins like this, it's like, it means a lot to artists, especially, like, I mean, like, I think, this was an artist from Ukraine. I think maybe like, the sort of conflict and whatnot with Ukraine and other countries was happening near then. It's like something that has a massive, massive effect on these people. So like, even just a few $100s to a struggling artist out there means the world to them. And, I just wanted to try and, help as many people as I could.
Yeah, and give back. And you actually enjoy the scrolling through art and like finding new artists. And I mean, you've done I do think that you spend like 6 fix on derivatives of your PFPs,
Oh.
or maybe even more. I don't think you keep track for your own
I've
sake.
spent a lot, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, through the years, we've seen at least 150. I don't know, like the amount of Pokemons. But like, but it's all from a good cause. But also, you really enjoy the process and like seeing your PFP in a different style and variation, which is really great. And it kind of I just connected it with what Pudgy did for a while with the streamers that no one was viewing. I don't know if you saw that on Instagram.
Yeah,
or
I did.
Yeah, man. Like I think that's a very similar purpose of like helping others, even with just a few $100 that could mean the world. You know, like it's very impactful, and I think you've always done that, which is very inspiring.
Yeah, it's one of the core values, and it's something that, you know, Wab actually introduced to me very early. You know, when I was on the SEALs team and whatnot, he constantly said he wants everybody around him to make it, and that's something that has resonated with me, you know, ever since the first time he said it. Was, you know, I do truly want everyone around me to make it, and if I can help people, you know, where I can, I will.
Yeah. I do see it more like from someone you're very close with, like someone you're working with in the team, like in this case WAB, or like also as well, like with ITK. But like it has a different meaning when it's like someone completely random or like that you don't know, but like you really appreciate what they're doing. I think it has a way bigger value as well. So definitely kudos. And jumping into the ITK and working together, and like really wanting for others to win, but especially the one that you work and build with every day. Yes, obviously. How did ITK start? What was the idea of it? How did you meet the rest of the team? For the ones that don't know this part of the lore, if you want to keep it like TLDR, just for reference.
I guess I feel like I met everyone in SEALs. Maybe it was either SEALs and or Squishyverse.
Yep.
And you know, these are people like you, Ryan, Happy. These people who were supporting me during those times, and you know, obviously back then, you know, the market was in great conditions. But then, as the market started to slow down, you know, I wanted to, you know, find something to, you know, sort of work on, and B, find something that can provide for others. And, you know, at first it was like, you know, we were starting small, just like, you know, moderator jobs or collab management jobs. And then as we started to become more experienced, use our experience from previous campaigns, you know, it scaled up into this bigger marketing agency. But the real, you know, sort of core meaning behind why I founded it in the first place was because I wanted to, you know, help those who have supported me. And, you know, we're still here many years after, you know, scaling more and whatnot. It's been a pretty crazy journey. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, the whole reason why I started it was just to help people, you know, get jobs, and now it's just grown into something much, much bigger.
Yeah. He said no, that's bullshit. No, yeah, I completely agree. It's about helping others and winning together, building great things. And we've been lucky and fortunate to work with some really great brands like Sappy Seals, The Plague as well, Kabu, Bearish, among many others, which 50 plus line, which is great. And they really appreciate that genuine care from the team. I mean, there's been thought from other agencies along the ride, so there's many of these that we still work with, and like Postmates, which says a lot as well about the team.
I think like constantly, you know, the feedback with nearly every client we work with is they really appreciate, you know, sort of how personal we make things, like as if we're embedding ourselves as part of the team. We're not some external party that, you know, they're contracting. It's like, you know, when we work with clients, we truly want the best. We believe in their vision, and we'll do as much as we can in order to do so. And so, yeah, it's pretty much been like everybody we've worked with. I mean, you know, and they're always commenting, like, especially Ryan and Happy. They're like, dude, you guys never sleep. Especially Happy. She is she is out of this world. It's, you know, constantly there, constantly, you know, pushing for the best, making sure that, you know, everything is there in order to make them succeed.
Yeah, I think it's unmatched to have someone like that in the team, and that's also why many ask, like, how do you guys do it? And you need a happy. But like, I was talking as well about this with Scotty last week here on the episode 18 as well. He was mentioning, like, you need a super team, like someone that you like, a team that you actually compensate with, and like you have different skills, but you build up to actually a super team that feels like 20 people, even you might be 5. So yeah, you compensate to each other's qualities and skills, which adds up to it.
Yeah, I think like a difference between Web 2 and Web 3 is that, with Web 2, you always have very set specific roles, while in Web 3, a lot of teams are specialists within multiple different domains. I mean, when you look at the SEALs team, it's like a core team of 5 who man the whole shit. Like, those guys are insane. I don't know how they do it. They do everything. So, it's sort of like, the ITK team throughout all these years, we've sort of do that. And then, it's passion for the game, like someone like Happy, who is there every single day with consistently hours on end. It's like, that sort of energy just brings everyone up, and, we're specialists in all different areas, but then, in places that we're lacking, somebody else picks up and so on. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's the reason why we've had the same core team for so many years. And I think it's another reason why hiring in crypto is extremely hard at the moment. I've seen lots of tweets about it recently.
About what, sorry? The last part, didn't hear?
Oh, sorry. It's been extremely hard to hire in crypto recently. I've seen a lot of tweets about that.
About her. Yeah, I mean, there's also been this wave of like CT leads or like hiring from your community, which are one of the best strategies, I think, for hiring people within your team. But yeah, you have to really be passionate about what you're building and like that project completely. Otherwise, there's not enough motivation, and especially in such a demanding space that is Monday to Sunday. Like, there's no days off. Like, everyone's online 24/7 and sleep deprived and having anxiety and ADHD. So like, it's so demanding, like, and the space waits for no one. So you need to be up for it and level up otherwise. The market eats you. But yeah, moving as well towards, I feel like you've been experimenting with a lot of things lately. I mean, you've been a farmer for however long, many years. You're trying to be a trader. You're also a founder, but you're trying to be more front face nowadays. You're going to Token in Singapore next month. So like, what are you focusing the most right now and in the next couple of months? I think you're experimenting a lot. Where you see more of yourself lately?
Yeah, I think one big thing that I'm trying to do is, being a lot more front facing as, the founder and CEO of ITK, and, with a purpose of trying to scale more. I really want to, make us something great. I do think, we are in a good place, but I do really want to level us up. And I think, part of my strategy is by being a lot more front facing as a founder and sort of showing my expertise and sort of creating that like authority on my timeline. I think, for a while I was, sort of set on, I wanted to try to get engagement, but I was like, it's not the audience that I want. The audience that I, want to attract are, like-minded individuals and then also potential clients. And so, this recent series that I'm starting is, sort of just insight on what I think is good, what I think is bad, things I find interesting, and so on. I mean, the first one I went into was Athena, because that's an insane protocol that's come out this cycle. Their BD is absolutely insane. I have a lot of respect for them, and I've got, I'm going to dive through a lot more, successful NFTs and ones that didn't go through there. In the bear market, I focused a lot on airdrop farming. I, sort of that was my introduction more into DeFi. That's when, during the bear market was when I sort of, in terms of personally with my trading style and whatnot, I, went from NFTs to airdrop farming. And, it's given me the knowledge of, what protocol is good, what makes them good, what makes a farming campaign good, and so on. Like, I've found projects such as Athena or Usual and stuff that have short campaigns that provide 100% ROI on stables. I've been able to have pretty good airdrops that have been risk-free, and I always study from these projects. When I'm trying to farm a protocol, I study them, and it helps me build up that idea bank. So in terms of being the founder of ITK, my sort of Twitter strategy is I don't give a fuck about impressions. I just want to put out stuff that, like I mentioned in the tweet, A, constantly keeps me researching, looking very in depth into things. B, to share value because there's so much slop on the timeline, and I didn't mention it, but C, to be a more front-facing founder where I'm sort of showing off my expertise and what ITK can provide for people and how we sort of fix these problems and so on. I am going to Token. That is my first crypto event since ever joining the space. I know yourself and Ryan have always been like, yo, you coming to this? And I'm like,
years, damn it.
Yeah, it's been years, but
It's fucking painful.
I'm finally gone. So in terms of my future or my future plans, is the priority is to scale ITK into something that I want to be able to flex like really good campaigns. Like
Voting for president. Run through a wall.
Yeah,
I thought you were not speaking. Sorry. was super excited through the whole thing.
Yeah. That's like I think like we're doing like okays and we're being like comfortable or whatever, but it's like I really want to level things up, and I'm taking inspiration from a lot of different other founders and so on. And I think the biggest thing that I'm going to invest in is sort of my personal brand and ITK's brand in terms of how we position myself and our agency as industry experts, and how we can level up our game to get more clients, work with bigger clients and so on.
Man, so much to say. Fuck. Yeah, let me gather my thoughts. But like, mainly like when we've said it this a million times, the ITK team and so many people around you that really know you, you are one, if not the most underrated founder in the whole space. Like, it's insane the amount of knowledge and information and value that you have provided till now, and that you still want to do for free. Yeah, I'm so excited and so glad that you're going into this new genius villain evil arc of like, I don't care about the impressions. I'm just going to provide value and like continuing this journey of scaling and leveling up. For the people that might think that your farming phase, or like all this information that you are very early to most of the time, is too niche, like what would you suggest? Like, if it's not their thing, like, would you think like it's a big opportunity for them to get involved with, or like just to pivot to something else that they prefer and like more than this?
Well, honestly, I think to succeed in crypto is you always have to stay curious. You have to stay on top of trends. You have to find new protocols or something. I mean, I feel like I mentioned Athena a lot, but Athena, I found them at 200 mil TVL, 25k users farming it. Now they're at 14 bill supply and over like 200k holders and like a bunch of other stuff.
Holy shit.
It's like, you stay curious and you'll find winners. And I mean, I'm always a little bitch with my trading. I always use small size, but with a lot of people, you can create, a lot of conviction behind this. And, it helps you in terms of knowledge, trading, and then the broader aspect of crypto, constantly staying curious, constantly keeping on top of new things, being able to find asymmetrical bets and having this advantage compared to every other person is going to make you more successful in crypto, no matter what you're doing. So, I mean, you might not find my content the best, or, this sort of content if it's from other people, but I still encourage you to try and read up on it, or, maybe once in a while, stay on top of things, because, like, there's so much to crypto out there. Even I myself, like, I've been here for many years. It's still, there is so much more out there to learn. It's still such a very early industry. There's a lot of opportunities. So you want to constantly be looking out there, whether it's, new protocols to farm or new things to be a part of or whatever.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And it's also, I mean, people to keep experimenting and staying curious, I think is very important. Especially now that InfoFi is slowing down a little bit and it's a little bit more quiet these days. It just feels slower and like the real people are around, and a lot have already found their passion or like what they like, and they're just doubling down on that. But I think there's a lot of people in limbo and like trying to figure it out. So like,
sorry, go on.
No, yeah. Like, what would you suggest for people besides staying curious? Anything else on keeping experimenting? And I think finding their personal brand is super important as well.
Yeah. I think like, you see the success of people honing in on their niche, especially on, sort of newer or undiscovered, aspects of crypto. For example, ICO Beast, he absolutely blew up during Blast. And now, I think he got the fattest Kaido airdrop that was well over 6 figures. He makes, he's made like over 60K from just Polkadot's campaign itself. That guy absolutely prints. And that all stemmed from him, going big on Blast. You have people like John Wang who were bullish very much on prediction markets, and now he's the head of growth or head of crypto at Kalshi. You have people like Loki who, he's very much in love with NFTs, and InfoFi's out there, and he, with his brand, he could farm everything out there, be on leaderboards. But he was like, I don't want to tarnish my brand. If I'm going to yap about something, I'm going to yap about something that I think is truly good. And, he had shown DMs where people were like, I don't think Somnia's rewards are going to be good. He's like, I don't know why you're yapping about them. But he's like, fuck it. I like them.
I like their
tech. Yeah, he's like, I like their tech. I'm going to continue talking about them, even though rewards are tiny. And now he's got like a potential 300K airdrop. I think.
Man, I saw that.
I think like
awesome.
80% vested or something. But even the 20% unvest is fat. Like, what you want to do is you want to find a niche, go hard on it, and it's even better if it's something that is untapped potential. You're seeing a lot of people now blow up on abstract. If you're, it's probably harder to do so now compared to early abstract. But you want to keep on top of these things. Prediction markets. Only just recently, they've always been around with Polymarket and so on, doing billions of volume. But now you have these creators who are going big on prediction markets, and they're getting hired at massive businesses. So, you want to find, at first, you want to find the values that you want to sort of look out for in crypto, or sort of, the person you are. You stay curious. And then if you find something that you truly believe in, just go hard at it. Fuck the engagement, fuck what other people think, fuck all of that. If you truly believe in it, just go hard on it, and it will pay off. Just look at ICO Beast and everybody out there, Wale with his, threads in the bear market, same with Star Platinum. These people found something that not a lot of other people were doing and just went hard at it, super consistent. And now these guys are, top of their game, printing a bunch, so much influence. It's like, if you want to do that, or even if you're just trying to get hired by a bigger company, for example, Kalshi or Coinbase that now Alex on Chain works at, or Red Guy at Mega ETH, even if you just want to get hired at a massive leading institution, building your personal brand is going to be the best thing to do. I think a lot of people in Web3, they don't really look at traditional resumes. Like if it's a CT lead, they'll look at your timeline. Yeah, they'll look at people you work with and so on. It's becoming a lot more common to just look at somebody's timeline, see what, they're talking about, who they've worked with and so on. It's like, if you want to really climb up the ladder in crypto, build a personal brand, find your niche, and just go hard at it. I think, something that I've always been anxious about was like my impressions, because I'm just like nuked in engagement all the time. But I'm just like, oh, fuck it, dude. If I'm going to get 10 views on my thing.
Whoa, Money. Did you freeze or did I?
Oh, did things cut off?
Oh shit, we're back. Oh,
Basically,
yeah, a few seconds.
I've yapped for years. Basically, find something you're passionate in and just go hard at it, and it will pay off. You know, that's the biggest thing I recommend for people trying to make it in crypto, whether it's through being a content creator, trying to work at a bigger company, or making your own business. You know, just building your personal brand will benefit anything you do in crypto.
I'm so glad you I mean, we started talking about this, and it's such a great lesson, and probably one of the most important right now in crypto as well. Just being authentic and finding your niche, and eventually you start community building. Like one person likes your content, and then two, and then three, and then you find like-minded people, and you grow together. And I mean, you can do it by yourself, but eventually, I mean, what's to say? Like, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think community building is also very important, but mainly just doing what you like and doubling down on that. So completely agree. And like mutuals as well. I mean, we've said this so many times in ITK, like that proof of trust from other people that you know on an account, on the next account, goes a very long way. And yeah, looking at their timeline and reactions and what they're talking about is super important as well.
It's pretty much like the biggest thing when I'm looking at, you know, newer accounts or, you know, even like existing protocols that I've only just discovered. I look at mutuals. If they have 0 mutuals with me, I'm following way too many people. I follow like 6,000 people. If they have 0 mutuals with me, I'm like, they're a scam.
Biggest red flag there could be. Like
it's very important just to, you know, just a small bit. Even if you had 5 mutuals with me, it's so much better than 0. So it's like it just shows the importance of, you know, being able to build that credibility and trust behind you as a person. It goes the extra mile.
Very long way. Yeah, and you can ask them about that. Like, what do you know about this person on this account? And then, I mean, you do love doing research as well, so you'll go down the rabbit hole. But yeah, it goes a long way to have at least a few mutuals, and the more the better, obviously.
Yeah.
And people that do also their due diligence. And talking about japping, I think you mentioned this the other day. Like, this was one of your main japping. Well, the one that gave you the most jap, and 350,000 fucking impressions, man. Like my mom saw this shit. What the fuck happened,
dude? Like, honestly, I'm in a Discord with a bunch of friends, and somebody was tracking Frank's wallet, and they were like, "What the fuck? Did it just sell a bunch of Digo?" So I went on it, and I was like, I'm immediately posting that. I was like, you know, I mean, I've been, you know, pretty vocal about Frank in the past, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna tweet it. And it shows, like, you know, it sucks, but like drama, rage baiting, shit posting, that is what gets the most impressions on Twitter. I mean, you know, like this post gave me like over 200 yaps or something.
What?
And I think lifetime I have like 350. Like it you know, like after seeing that post, it sort of made me, you know, go back and think, like, what do I want my Twitter to look like? Yeah. Do I want to go down this route, or do I want to be more of, you know, like I mentioned, you know, front-facing founder who shows off, you know, sort of my expertise and my thoughts in the industry and so on, and being an actual thought leader. And yeah, after this post, I was like, fucking, like, yeah, the drama farming works, but dude, this is
it's so shallow, to say the least.
But honestly, like, when I saw that, I was like, I just had to tweet it. You know, no one else had tweeted it, and like, it's such a crazy instance. Like, but I don't think I'll do it again.
Yeah, no, and I mean, being first from like this type of news, or like it explodes. Like, you're like first in the news channel, like it just blows up completely, and then everyone else shares around.
You have so many influencers these days posting breaking news, and you just see it all over your timeline. It's like, I don't want to be that, you know, like where the other day, like Kaido pumped to 1.4, and I don't know who took the screenshot, maybe FFV or Zia, and it was like 20 or 30 different screenshots all of people posting the Kaido chart, and his caption was like, "Yo, do you guys reckon Kaido pumped?" Like, because everybody was tweeting about it. It's like, you know, and it still gets engagement. I mean,
Yep.
you know, to those people trying to, you know, maximize engagement, it works, but that's not the type of audience that I want to attract. And that's something, you know, when you're building your personal brand, is you have to think first, what type of people do you want
Yeah. Who's your
engaging with
audience?
your content? You know, I'd rather, you know, like a smarter audience where, you know, it's a lot more thought-provoking content over just, you know, news or engagement bait and so on.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And a lot of your content as well, like people can immediately realize that you know what you're talking about. It's very advanced in a way. It's very niche, very specific, and it proves that you've done your research. So it's not for everyone at first, but then eventually you become that source of knowledge that people go back to. And sometimes as well, it flex like you've been so early that people eventually will also and could benefit when they pay attention. So that's also good for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to one last question before we start wrapping up. And I know you've been big on hype since, I don't know, 2012.
Yeah.
But like, where do you see the biggest opportunity in Web3 for? I mean, we're so close to Q4, so we can just say 2026. I know you've been trading, again, experimenting with a few things. You've been on hype. What are you looking the most at, and what would you suggest for other people as well to pay attention to?
Yeah. I think, you know, it's something, you know, Jez or Isabel Eve mentioned on a podcast the other day, is that, you know, the most success you'll have is finding an asymmetrical bet. He was saying, you know, he had blown up his portfolio like 95%, and he was just staring at his computer 12 hours a day, trying to find something that he could full port with conviction. And he did so with Per, Hyperliquid's, you know, meme coin that they made ages ago. And I think he made bank from it. I don't know how much. I didn't finish watching it, but you know, it's finding asymmetrical bets and doing your own research and not being swayed by other people. I think, you know, I made a tweet the other day about, you know, my pump long, and I was down 200%.
Yeah, what's it, this one? I got you.
I was down close to 200% on that. And, you know, you can get very emotional over seeing red, especially a big number.
Yeah.
I mean, I always trade with small size, so it's not, you know, like it's going to fucking break
Make
me.
or break, yeah.
But, you know, and, you know, like you think emotionally and you're like, fuck, dude, Alan's such a scammer, you know, fucking all this money raised, blah, 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 blah. But
yeah, you start blaming
Yeah.
others like all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's not your fault most of the time.
you have to think logically, and you
Emotionless.
know, see if there are, you know, risk rewards there, and that's what I, you know, did with pump. I didn't have a moonbag left, but that shit's up like 350%. But I guess going back to the topic of, you know, what to look for or whatever the biggest opportunities in crypto, I think a lot of people have mentioned hyper EVM, and while I still think that it's early, you know, maybe it's diluted for people with smaller capital, I think Abstract is a great farm at the moment. I had mentioned I call him Teamer, other people call him TMA. I actually don't know what is his preferred username, but TMA, he had mentioned his, you know, Abstract XP, and, you know, he hopes it's going to be a big airdrop. And I was thinking, I think it's going to be very lucrative for people who are farming it and doing well on it, because it's a lot harder to get XP compared to other, you know, chains out there.
Yeah, it's
A lot of
random.
chains-
Like nobody knows how to actually get it.
A
They're
lot of chains
experimenting every
out
week.
there, yeah, it's just a whales game. Like, people deposit billions and billions just to get a few percentage, while, you know, TMA was saying he's in top 1% having like 40K in assets. While 40K is still a lot of money, being a top 1% XP earner on a chain, on other chains that take six figures plus, multi six figures. And, you know, such a thing such as Abstract is, I still think it's very underfarmed. Just proving that having 40 grand gives you top 1% XP shows that it's underfarmed, because there's no giga whales. And it's also, there's nothing on Abstract that is sort of, you know, geared towards giga whales. If you look at Blast was, you know, you fucking deposit a bunch of money, you earn points, get gold or whatever. You look
Yeah.
at Linear's campaign, you know, deposit billions and you get, you know, like 2% of supply or whatever like that. Like Abstract is, you know, so an ecosystem players, XP is constantly changing. I think, you know, that is a great thing. I think there's going to be a lot of new crypto products coming out over the next, you know, few quarters. And I think the market's becoming a lot more mature at finding which protocols are vaporware tech and who isn't. And you might be able to see the next Athena. You know, if I full ported Athena on launch, if I had that conviction, I'd be retired. But I'm not.
In Dubai, yeah, in an actual good time zone, not living at 8 a.m. every day.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I guess there's I could probably yap forever. I'm such a yapper. But basically,
No, it's
you know,
okay.
it really does depend on what you want to do. If you're a trader, find something out there that is going to be an asymmetrical bet. Do your research, create a thesis, and stick to it. You have to be able to, you know, hold things down. You know, fucking pump, I was down 200%, and I was still like, it should go up.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I was like, this should go
Yeah,
up
yeah.
eventually.
You know,
Maybe not tomorrow, but eventually.
yeah,
it will.
and
Yeah.
and like I mentioned in the tweet, you know, previous trades I've been very easily swayed by people on Twitter, FUD on Discord or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you do your own research, create your own thesis, and you can stick by it, you know, you'll find your most success over that. And then, you know, you can make a trading journal and whatever. And so, you know, in terms of trading, asymmetrical bet. In terms of farming, constantly look for new protocols and see what makes them special compared to everybody else. You know, there's 6 billion different people trying to copy Hyperliquid right now. And, you know, it's, you know, you can't possibly farm them all. You got to find somebody that, you know, what makes them better compared to the rest of the competition. You know, that's one of the biggest things to look at, especially in farming. What makes these, you know, what makes them better? And, you know, sort of, you know, how much can my capital get me? You know, how far can it get me? Athena, I went pretty relatively small size, but it was a 6-week campaign, extremely small. I was like, this is 6 weeks. It's no time compared to, you know, how long other projects farm
Years.
you for. I was like, I'm just going to dump it in, and it was good. And yeah, in terms of, you know, outside of that for, you know, Q4 and whatever, I think you're going to see a massive ramping up of crypto native hires happen. People on the timeline getting hired. I mean, you know, you got Volley who's been hired by AVAX, and then the other examples such as John Wang, and I mean, ICO Beast is now working at Proof of Play, and
Eli
you know,
on Gigaverse. Yeah, there's
other stuff like that. I think, you know, I think there's going to be a ton more of opportunities in crypto, and I think it's only going to ramp up when you're seeing, you know, you're starting to see, you know, these DATs come into play. You're starting to see TradFi go into crypto. You're starting to see all this stuff. I think the opportunities are just going to keep going up. And now what you want to do now is build your foundation, so then you're prepared by the time it comes around. You know, you could be building your personal brand, and then, you know, you become the next ICO Beast, or, you know, you become the next bread guy working at, you know, Mega ETH or something. So number one, invest in yourself, build yourself. Number two, stay curious. And then number three, the opportunity will present itself if you go hard on things.
Man,
dude, I yap for way too much, bro.
Money for president.
I am
no,
such a
completely.
waffler.
No, it's okay. I mean, everything makes sense. That's like, it's not like you're saying random shit that doesn't connect. Yeah, I totally agree. And just a quick point as well on Abstract and why they're doing things different is rewarding people that are using their platform. I mean, playing the games, streaming, you know, this different type of content that is real and authentic, instead of, as you were saying, just like, I have $1 billion, I can get a few percentage API. So yeah. I think Abstract is doing a lot of things very well, and giving the opportunity to small creators and people that are actually wanting to use their platform and their whole ecosystem. So I think a lot to learn from their team and their community. So kudos.
Yeah, you'll see more and more protocols pop up like Abstract, like Hyperliquid, and so on, because that's the new meta. Nobody wants to I think I mentioned in my Athena my Athena tweet is that the user doesn't want to feel farmed. They want to feel like they're farming you, and in order to do that is you have to do these mechanisms that reward real users, not just whales. And this will pop up a lot more, and that's how you'll make a lot more money, or even get hired or whatever as you find these people. So yeah, these people are going to pave the way for the new meta.
Yeah, I mean, Kaito. I mean, there was a rumor they were bought in their own stats, and then there all these topics of like royalty and retention, and people just jump into the next thing. So like, yeah, there's a lot of variables that you need to really do well for you to actually build something long term, and not just something people will jump and grasshopper from thing to another, right? So yeah, Abstract is setting a very good example, and people will like to other production will try to copy it, but it's going to be tough as fuck. Like
I'm pretty curious on Abstract's TGE, because I know Luke and Neds had mentioned he wants to beat base.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Some metrics, and
that's still
tough
a while
task.
then.
Tough task. I don't know when they'll TG, but I think as long as people keep going in on the Abstract ecosystem, by the time it TGEs, it will do very well for the people farming it.
I think so too. I'm very curious of what happens next. There's so much talk about fatigue, Ryan. If the TGE gets extended from Q4, but then what happens after TGE? Like, how many people will stick around? I think there's a very solid foundation, but like we'll really see who the real ones are after. Not leading to it. It's gonna be interesting.
I think this is a whole. It could have been a whole new podcast. Going into stuff like this. But I think they, being a consumer-facing blockchain, they need a lot more consumer-friendly Web 2 stuff post TGE in order to, continue succeeding. I think it's completely different, but it's sort of on the topic. There's a new chain that recently announced their funding called Inversion. And what they're doing is, they're trying to be like a stablecoins settlement layer one, sort of like the other stablecoin blockchains you're seeing come out recently. But their approach is super unique. They are using the funds to acquire Web2 companies to then transfer all of their, sort of monetary aspects of the business on chain. So it's like they're forcing these people to use their tech first. And I find it a really interesting, and I hope it's successful, because it's sort of like I do think there sort of is a barrier where like all these chains will come out, but I think it's going to be very hard for them to get initial onboarding from TradFi or Web2. But with these guys initially forcing it, and then if they're successful with it, the sort of bargaining chip they have to a lot of these businesses is 1,000x more powerful compared to these other chains. So I'm really curious to see how they perform. And I think Abstract post TGE, they'll need to, they need a lot more consumer, brands and consumer friendly products on it, because at the moment it's a lot of like, gaming and sort of gamblify and so on.
It's mainly Pudgy on the Web2 side building. And Abstract, Red Bull, and a few other partnerships. But I agree they have to build more on that side as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see a lot more before TGE, and then post TGE, like you'll have all this infrastructure in place to continue succeeding. But it could be a whole new podcast for just talking about that
for another time for sure. But Bunny, what do you want to leave the audience with? I think you cover a lot of really good lessons and really good advice. Any last few words before we start wrapping up?
I guess if there's one thing to take away, is the beauty of Web3 is you can become something from nothing. We have seen the zero to hero moments happen for so many people. I mean, even including myself. I wouldn't say I'm a hero, but I've definitely gone from zero to something. You know, I went from I dropped out of pre-med school and went into crypto, and now I'm here. And you have these people who just make Twitter brands and build their own personal brand, and now they're making so much more money. You can become something from nothing. You just need to invest in yourself. You need to find ways to do that. And I think being able to build your personal brand through finding niches, through being a thought leader, through showing your value, you will become something. And that's where I leave people off.
Fucking goosebumps, man. Fuck. That's super good, and I completely resonate from that. Zero to hero, I haven't heard in a while. Like, I think it's a very special quote that if people resonate with, like, they can pretend they're in a movie and fucking go slay that dragon or whatever storyline they want for themselves. And very, very powerful advice, and for people to talk about, to think about. Sorry.
It's like maybe the only industry where you can do this, where it's completely fuck the resume off, show me what you've done in crypto. I don't need 5 years of experience doing blah blah blah. I want to see what you've done. And opportunities like this will continue arising, and that's how you build the foundation. Now you will find yourself in one of these positions.
Yeah, and for the ones that might be thinking like, oh, with AI it's more difficult now, or I'm not early, or I'm late, or whatever, like every industry I think right now is valuing more than ever that authenticity, that uniqueness, and like being original, being yourself. So for everyone listening, I don't think you're late for anything. You're still time to make it. And as you were saying, like, there's so many opportunities right now and coming up. So
yeah, I think
it's time to position yourself.
You see so many tweets, and this is why I say don't be swayed. There's so many tweets where people are like, oh, the cycle's topped, or this and that. And it's like, you have so many more catalysts coming to crypto. It's only like just now where like massive institutions are interested in crypto. You have these NASDAQ listed companies buying Hyperliquid, buying fucking buying anime, buying all these different tokens. Like, you have these DATs coming in. There's so much like catalyst coming in
launching
now.
coins.
It's like fuck it, dude. Even if we did top, this is not the end of crypto, and it's like the opportunities will continue being there. Even if it does go into a bear, investing in yourself now will position you for the bull market. And building on what Blue said, in the sea of slop, authenticity is what is valued. And showing your uniqueness, showing why people should follow you, or even just look at your content, you need to be able to achieve that. I don't think anyone's late ever, unless Bitcoin goes to zero, then might be too late. But I think regardless of where the cycle's at or anything, you'll never be too late. And the perfect time to start is always now. Just start now, and you'll find yourself in you'll find some opportunity pop up down the line.
Yeah, you'll find a way to stand out. Yeah, man, so many great lessons. And yeah, awesome. Man, so honored to have you here in Proof of Person, episode 19. It's been a fucking blast. Thank you everyone that was in the comments and in the chat. I'll definitely shout out after the show to everyone that was there. Couldn't shout out individually because of the very good conversation we were having.
Because of my yapping. I'm sorry.
Didn't want to interrupt Moni as usual. But yeah, man, super exciting times ahead. We're having another Proof of Person obviously next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that one. And for the ones going to Singapore Token and want to see Muni and get his autograph next month, send him a DM. If you're not in the group chat already, let me know, and I'll definitely add you. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Muni,
appreciate for having me here.
It's been a fucking pleasure.
Thank you for listening to all my yappage.
Man,
it's a pleasure.
If you had a podcast, it will be a problem because 12 hours of it, we will all listen to it.
Non-stop yapping, but I appreciate the opportunity a lot, and thank you for everybody listening.
Yeah, thank you everyone, and thank you, Muni. Always an honor.
Yeah.
See you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.